We had just moved into our dream home, the perfect place for us. Our rescued cat, Bella, explored every corner like she owned it. Everything seemed perfect, except for the house next door. It looked abandoned, half-renovated, then left to rot. The fence between our back gardens was gone. Anyone could walk from our yard into theirs. Behind that abandoned home, another house sat always noisy. We sometimes saw young men cutting through the empty garden. We assumed they knew the owner. That first night, we sat outside under the stars. I glanced up and froze. A man stood in the window, staring at us. No expression, no movement, just eyes locked on us. The room behind him was pitch black. We went inside, brushing it off as curiosity. Days later, we sat outside again, this time at night. The creak of wood broke the silence. 3 men stood where our fence should be. One held a large bag, its contents unknown. He offered us stolen washing tablets. Seriously. We declined. He just smiled and left. But it wasn't the last time. Soon, they were entering our garden without asking. They acted like they owned the place. Even police visited the abandoned house once. A week later, police told us the men were kicked out. Relief didn't last long. One afternoon, my girlfriend filmed a stranger in the empty garden. When he saw her, he ran toward our house. He tried our door handle, then vanished into the old house. We called the police. A few nights later, at 2:16 a.m., came a low whistle, followed by tapping on our window. Our cameras recorded nothing, as if he knew how to avoid them. The next day, our doorbell camera was gone. The SD card missing. The police warned us they might be planning something. Weeks of whistling, banging, and fear followed. Then one night he appeared again. Hood up, mask on, arms spread wide like a cross. He stared at our bedroom window for 30 minutes. Police said, "It's not illegal to stare." The fear made sleep impossible. One night, the camera caught 2 masked men. One carried a crowbar. They shined flashlights into our windows. Every day after, he stood across the street, watching, pointing, waving, never speaking. The police still did nothing. We're trapped in our own home, waiting for what's next. It started with a friendly, neighborly smile. A man in his mid-40s moved into the apartment across from mine. He introduced himself as Sonny, short for Sunil. At first, he seemed polite, maybe too polite. He'd compliment my outfits every time I stepped out, and somehow, he always knew when I was leaving. At first, I thought it was coincidence, until the late-night knocks began. Soft knocks 3 times, always at 1 a.m. When I opened the door once, the hallway was empty. The security camera showed nothing, but then I noticed my camera's angle was slightly different. Someone had touched it. The next morning, he was in the corridor, just staring. I greeted him nervously, but he didn't respond. Instead, he said, "You looked peaceful in your sleep." My blood ran cold. I had never told him which room was mine. The following day, flowers appeared outside my door with a note, "You belong in the sunshine." I threw them away, uneasy. That night, my phone buzzed with a strange message. It was a photo of me sleeping. The angle matched my bedroom window. I lived on the 3rd floor, terrified. I called building security. They checked the roof. Fresh footprints led to my window. They said the prints matched Sonny's shoes. I confronted him the next day. He just grinned and whispered, "The sun always sees you." That night, my curtains stayed closed, but I could hear faint humming in the hallway. It was the same tune he whistled earlier. Suddenly, the doorknob began to turn slowly. I froze, clutching my phone. The knob stopped silence. Then, a loud scratch against the door. Security arrived minutes later, but no one was there. The next day, my peephole was covered from outside. When I removed the tape, a Polaroid fell to the floor. It was me, sitting on my couch, taken from inside my home. I bolted to the manager's office. He admitted Sonny had a spare key from the previous tenant. I demanded they change my locks immediately, but that night, I still heard him outside my door. He whispered, "You can't hide from the sunshine." The police finally issued a restraining order. Sonny moved out a week later, but I still get flowers at my door every Sunday, and every note says the same thing. The sun is watching.